Okay, my name is Clark, and we'll be on the negative side, supporting the current law as it is, 21 for the drinking age. To start off with, in 1933 was the end of the Prohibition. Across the United States, states individually set the drinking age to 21. That was in 1933. 40 to 45 years later, in 1970 and 1975, 29 of the 50 states started to lower their drinking ages. They allowed 18, 19, and 20-year-olds to drink. Less than 10 years later, scientists were doing studies, and studies in the 1970s found that motor vehicle crashes increased significantly among teens when the minimum legal drinking age was lowered. So, because there was only 29 states, there were different states that still had it at 21, some had it at 18. So, underage people would cross the border and do drinks that way. Because of these state differences in the minimum legal drinking age, resulted in the federal government in 1984 to enact the Uniform Drinking Age Act, which mandated reduced federal transportation funds to those states that did not raise the MLDA to 21. And continuing, and this is from the American Medical Association, a higher minimum legal drinking age is effective in preventing alcohol-related deaths and injuries among youth. When the increased drinking age has been lowered, injury and death rates increased, and when the MLDA has increased, death and injury rates decline. Refuting one of the claims by our opponent, saying that the purpose of this law was to restrict binge drinking as well as motor vehicle crashes. The purpose wasn't for binge drinking, it was because of all these motor vehicle crashes that they saw. This is a bad thing, we need to stop this. younger than 21, 18-year-olds can't handle the responsibility of drinking and driving, as well as all the other things that our opponent pointed out. The difference, why it should be at 21, why it is at 21 now, there's a level of responsibility. Not just that it's a law that the age of the majority at age 18. There's a responsibility that goes along with that. You have to be 25 to be in the to serve as the U.S. House of Representatives. To be president, you have to be 35. To rent a car, you have to be 25. And in a lot of states, you have to be 21 to rent a hotel. So there's different levels of responsibility that go along with it, and the same goes for the drinking age. You have to be a certain level of responsibility to be able to drink. Also on that, why can an 18-year-old drink? According to Mother Against Drunk Driving, many rights have different ages of initiation. You can get a hunting license at 12, you can drive at 16, vote and serve, like they said, at 18. And I've stated some of the other ones as far as the presidency and the House of Representatives. So the current law is effective at preventing drunk driving. If you look at the National Institute for Highway Safety, there has been a reduction in the number of accidents related to teen drunk driving. According to the IIHS, in 1984, the year the law was passed, the number of underage drunk drivers killed was 1,595. In 2009, the number of underage drunk drivers killed was 609. That's a big reduction. Also, there are also a lot of costs associated with drinking, and if the age was lowered from 21 to 18, those costs would increase significantly. The costs I'm talking about are related to costs of the traffic accidents, the injuries that are caused, the violent crimes, suicide attempts, and treatment for the injuries. In 2002, according to James Torr, author of Underage Drinking is America's Biggest Youth Drug Problem, Teen drinking costs more than $58 billion annually. That was in 2002. In 2010, the Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation said that it's now at $62 billion in 2010. So there's an increase, and that's just going to get worse when the age is lowered to 18, if it's lowered to 18, because youth will have more access to alcohol. They'll be exposed to it more. They'll have the right to go use alcohol. And that is dangerous because of the responsibility issues. Younger adults are not responsible enough to be able to drink and have the responsibilities of an adult. Some facts from the Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation said that in 2009, an estimated 28,000 teen pregnancies and 937,000 teens have engaged in risky sexual activity, which was attributed to underage drinking. Also in 2009, there was an estimated 1,800 homicides, almost 1 million non-fatal violent crimes such as rape, robbery, and assault, 1.8 million property crimes, including burglary, larceny, and car theft, all of these attributed to underage drinking. So if that law is reduced to 18, again, the access, the responsibility, they don't have it, they can't control what they're doing when they start drinking. Also, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, as children move from the adolescence to young adulthood, they encounter many dramatic physical, emotional, and lifestyle changes. Developmental transitions, such as puberty, increasing independence, have been associated with alcohol use. So in a sense, just being in adolescence may be a key risk factor not only for starting to drink, but also for drinking dangerously. One of the things we'll go over in a little bit as well, the brain isn't fully developed. That poses a problem when underage drinkers drink, because that increases the dependency and a bunch of other things we'll continue on later.